I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now
Whoops. What up? What up? What up? What up, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome to a new week, new money. It's your boy Mikey Money here with Pregaming and Sports Money. Trying to do it here on Monday, August 11th. 13-game slate. Got several Major League Baseball games. Put a two-leg parlay together. We've got a WNBA game on deck tonight. I've got two look-ahead spots for the NFL. That's right. You know, I believe late betting is great betting, but I think some of the insight that I read over the weekend shows us that we need to get these two plays in now. Now, we had ourselves the weekend. Act out a little bit of profit yesterday. I'll tell you what, though, my bad beat of the weekend. I got to start it off this way. Just be real with everybody. Miles Johns. I'm an advocate of putting a flat unit on everything. I did not heed my own advice. It hurt. I'm still hurting from it. Oh, Miles Johns. And then I saw him go out there yesterday on Twitter and was talking about these refs. And he made a good point. Where's the accountability? You got guys with families, guys that have been training, guys in camp. And you completely whiff on a card like that. But good news. We're back in the thick of this thing. Shout out to Ramon Scott and VB MMA Picks. Them fellas have been hard at work. Sunday, they recorded the Dana White Contender Series, the first 5-card breakdown for this week. Dana White Contender Series starts tomorrow at 8 p.m. You've already got 5 bets out there. You got 5 game analyses to get ready for that, and we will be live. We are going to go live again this year. We had a fun time doing it last year. Dana White Contender Series starts tomorrow. Live show. You know, we'll be back for Saturday. And what's exciting is Ramon Scott and VB MMA Picks already went out there and gave you 3 fights broken down for this week. So you've got the last 3, as a matter of fact, the fight before the co-main event, and the main event for this UFC pay-per-view card. How can you not mention the $7.7 billion Paramount deal? Now, everyone's jockeying, trying to figure out what this is going to look like. Paramount costs are going to go up. It has to. A $7.7 billion contract. It's not really an acquisition, but all right, whatever term you want to use. The company's worth like $6.5 billion. So if you thought it was only going to be $5 more a month, think again. But it'll probably be in line with ESPN Plus. What was that? $9.99 or something like that, $14.99, probably something to that effect. You know, Paramount's got all kinds of shit out there too. Navy SEAL programs, cartoons, Unsolved Mysteries is probably floating around out there. So you're going to get a lot more than just the UFC, but still a pretty cool acquisition. Pretty exciting. As if anyone wants to start from the bottom of the list. So it's a big deal. And on top of that, a $1.5 billion acquisition for WWE to move over to ESPN. What ESPN's been doing is trying to jockey to make themselves relevant. If you didn't know, ESPN was losing money hand over fist. Back in the day, when everybody just paid $250 a month for a cable subscription, inside of there, whether you were a 5-year-old living with your parents or you were a 85-year-old senior citizen that couldn't do anything but watch afternoon talk shows, you still kicked off $20 to ESPN. And as those subscriptions went down, that number got much smaller. And so now they're trying to get back whole. There's a lot of maneuvering going on right now, which just shows that, I said this to a couple of guys today, we are in the right space at the right time here. Sports are popping. CBS, Paramount wants it on the UFC business. Could you believe that? Mike Tyson is probably like, I don't know what I did. What did I do? I was a boxer. What's up with this MMA stuff? Yeah, the WWE, I mean, it's scripted, but I guess ESPN doesn't care. And, look, next up on contract rights, you'll see the NBA is going to have to renegotiate. They're going to be looking probably look for Netflix and some of them folks to get in the game. Probably going to see, the NHL just went through some contract renegotiations. They got back on ESPN. So ESPN's trying to make themselves a sports powerhouse again. I have some thoughts on what I think they are missing, and we're going to try to fill some of those gaps here because gambling is taking off. A lot of people will go out there and they want to offer you packages. They want to give you breakdowns early, and we're very much in that spot too. Listen, we're not big business supported, so we need your guys' support to keep the lights on and keep doing this thing on a regular basis. Now, we're winning. We're winning a hell of a lot more than some of those talking heads do on their ESPN panels. But what's missing is what happens once the games start. What do you do? What do you do? Well, right now you go and you watch it at a bar, you hang out with your buddies. There's going to be somebody that's going to fill that niche. That's going to be us. Look we're going to be live with you guys on Tuesdays for Dana White Contender Series. We're going to be live on Thursdays for NFL football. We're going to be live on Saturdays for the UFC. We're looking at primetime football, whether they be Sunday night or Monday night football games as well. Only going to leave a few days to plug in other opportunities like football breakdowns, like NBA breakdowns, like NHL breakdowns, and everything else that's going to get going for this season. So it's exciting time to be in the sports space, especially the gambling space. And, I took a note. Now, obviously, we're kicking ass and taking names here for the baseball season. I try to look at it in two different folds. Maybe it's just a mental psyche here. Maybe it's just about playing games with my own head so that I don't sit back and keep saying, we're up 125 units in baseball. Since the All-Star break, we are up 15.75 units in baseball, continuing to run. So the All-Star break ended around what? July 20th? What's up, bomb.com? So since July 20th, just under 3 weeks or so, 15.75 units in baseball. The WNBA, can you believe this? Their All-Star break ended July 20th. So since July 21st, we are up 9.75 units in WNBA. We're 10-2-1 in our last 13 plays in the WNBA. And that one push was a last-second meaningless basket to get the push instead of the win. So we're firing. We're moving in the right direction as we get going. Now, on top of that, let's not forget we brought KBO online. Some of you guys are laughing. Some of you guys are calling me a degenerate. I think we found some edges. I don't want to speak too loudly, get too overconfident and hyped up in front of ourselves here, but KBO, what are we, 9-1 our last 10? 9-1 our last 10 KBO plays. Kicking ass and taking names over there as well. So only right as we bring the NFL online that we start firing there. And then, of course, what we've done in the NHL. I thought 65 units was a good NHL season until I saw what we did this baseball season. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for the direction of things here with sports money. Looking forward to bringing some new cappers to you guys as well. Some new faces to have some fun. Giving out winning bets. That's what we're here for. That's what I'm here for. I believe what I did learn is Japanese baseball is a lot different. Tried 2 Japanese plays last night. They did not go the way I had hoped they would go. So maybe that same edge that I think we found in KBO doesn't exist in the NPB. But keep your eyes open. You guys know what's up. You want to get your notifications on. If you haven't put your notifications on for the Sports Money YouTube channel, I don't know what you're waiting for. You don't want to miss this action when it drops. And for that matter, text alerts are available over at Winnable. Ramon Scott, MMA Jeff, and I are available with some of our premium selections over there at Winnable. Hey, Jeff just got online. I know he's having a hell of a run already. I think he's 8-2 or something like that. 7-2 in his last 9, I think is what the number is. Look out. Sports Money Squad represent. And represent indeed. I'm going to go a little out of sequence here. I'm going to give you guys this commercial, and then we're going to talk about a promo. It's your boy, Mikey Money. I'm inviting you to join the Sports Money crew on Winnable. Get all of our premium best bet selections.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays sent straight to your phone right when you need them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
There you go. Check us out at Winnable. And the reason I bring that up is because of this exciting promotion that we're running. Look, some guys want to go out there. Ramon said dirt cheap, 50 cents a day to support the squad is a true statement. Even less in most cases. Did you know some of those channels are charging $100 for 3 days? $100 for 3 days. What are you getting? 3 or 4 picks? They're taking advantage, and it's got to stop, and it's going to stop with us because we're going to put our flagpole in the ground that says we'll give you guys our best coaching and guidance as we can. We do appreciate you guys that support us out there, but this $99 for 3 days shit it's gotten too much, and it stops here at Sports Money. So we're going to run a promo. It's NFL 25. I'm going to put it in the chat. NFL 25. Get the entire, now listen, the entire football season isn't just exclusive to football. Think about when the football season runs through. February. Goes all the way through February. Well, what happens in between now and then? The NBA, the NHL, college football. Essentially, you get everything we've got in the land of best bets, guidance, feedback, and suggestions. And essentially, we've got it for 6 months. You buy 4, you get 2 free. So NFL 25. Go check it out if you haven't. Even if you're on the fence about what that means for you, it means that you're supporting us, which we certainly appreciate. And there's some big bettors out there. And those big bettors want to know what we're on before they're going out there and dropping their bombs. They need that validation, and that's fine. That's what we're here for. But we've priced it so that it doesn't matter what size your bankroll is. You can get involved. You can rest assured that we're going to do that work. We're going to compare our notes. We're going to look at all the tools and technology we have. And we're going to do our goddamnedest to say enough. $2,000 to go buy some of these NFL football packages, and that's all you get? It's fucking criminal, and it stops here at Sports Money. NFL 25 gets you 6 full months locked and loaded. Make sure you do check it out. We do appreciate you guys that have taken the opportunity to support us already. Quite a few of you have, and we love it. We thank you guys for that. We're going to continue to run promos, giveaways, and all the other fun stuff that we do. But again, we've got some large clients investing sizable opportunities, and they want that validation point, and we're happy to provide it for them. And hey, maybe it means we're running cold and you want a tail. But right now we've been running hot as a fucking pistol. It's a great time to get on board. Check the squad out. I want to talk about something else while we're here, because I dropped this out there with the post this morning. The post this morning. It's a Monday, so we got a few minutes to get into this stuff. Everybody relax. I don't want anybody to miss it. This is probably looking familiar to some of you. Maybe this is the first time some of you have seen it. But you got the home tab. You can go out there and find our videos. You'll see them all color-coded and assorted. You'll see our shorts. Those are just recaps and clips from those videos, giving you guys those best bets in case you ran out of time to check them out yourself. You'll see a lineup of live plays, live shows. Here's the Dana White Contender Series breakdown with VB and Ramon Scott. Here's today's UFC 319 breakdown with VB, Ramon, and SX, their exchange platform partner. You'll see tomorrow. Here's the Dana White Contender Series live. The reason I'm here, bring you over to the post tab. It's back. We're rolling it again. Jeff and I have been rolling this for years. Scan this QR code or go to this website. And what that's going to give you is access. What's that going to give you access to? It's going to give you access to this. Hang on, I didn't do that right. Hang on. I don't want you guys to miss this because this is something that we personally play, and we want you guys to get invested with this as well. So here you go. The SCN, you open it up, it brings you into this little portal. You have lots and lots of options. We gave away almost 100 free Survivor entries last year. They're like, if you want to just get into the Survivor, it's like $10. It's like $10 a clip just to get into the Survivor pool. So think about that. Startup channel, no big business supporting us. Yet we gave away almost $1,000 in free Survivor entries. Grand prizes up to $100,000. First place gets $50K. $50K. They've been doing it for 17 years. This ain't no chump change bullshit. It's all automated. It's all online. It's all there for you guys. You make one pick, one and done. You move on to the next week. Majority of us got ousted in week 1 last year. That sucked. They also have some bundles for other packages that are out there. These are the packages that we're personally invested in. So I want you guys to see it here on screen, because some of you guys say, well, what do you do? How do you bet? Well, yeah, we like to beat the bookies over the head, but who doesn't want to get involved in a Survivor entry? Who doesn't want to get, if you look here, you look at these bundles, you go on down, look at all these. You got, I think it's 12 contest entries, 12 different contest entries that you can get involved with Survivor, a second chance Survivor, a loser Survivor. They have a prop giveaway for $5,000 on Thanksgiving. Survivor number 3. Now, we get nothing from this. There's no reciprocal arrangements, or this is just us sharing with you where it is that we put our money, how we're getting invested in, some of the tools and things that we use to have fun during the football season. So the SCN, that's over there on the post tab. I want you guys to check that out. If you haven't done it last year, it's pretty cool. I know a lot of you guys had some fun with it. Some of you guys got to like weeks 4 or 5. And I remember laughing, saying, I'm going to set you up, but if you win, you got to give me, what was it? I forgot. Was it like $1,000 or something like that? I can't remember. Some of you guys are like, I'll give you 2. I was like, that's great. And then we all got eliminated in the first week. So I think it was the Saints that did us in last year. I can't remember exactly which team it was, but there's some big things that are happening. So yeah, on top of we're working on the preseason week number 2, you got to get out there, check that out, register. It's super cheap. It's the most inexpensive yet high return contest I've been able to find in the 20 plus years I've been invested in gambling. And yeah, I like to do fantasy football. Yeah, I like to get into these Survivor pools. Yeah, you know what? I won a golf Survivor pool, the inaugural golf Survivor pool that these folks had. I won it. They sent me, I don't know, $5 or $6 grand, and they did it within 10 days of the season ending. So I can verify, I can attest. They personally pay you out. And that being said, that's enough. That's enough. So you guys got some things to think about. And look, I get it. Not everyone's going out there dropping a dime on a game and wants a validation point. Maybe you just don't have time to do the research and you're looking at it going, I'll support you guys. I'll hook you up. Let's get on board. Let's work together to beat these bookies. That's what we're here for. Now we're here to get to the games. Let's talk about these games that we have tonight. The Nationals and the Royals, the Pirates and the Brewers. Arizona takes on Texas. Boston do the Sox smash against the Astros and Javier. Tampa Bay and Oakland will fire off here. Tampa Bay and the Nomad Athletics, I should say. Got a parlay. I mentioned it's a 2-leg parlay. Maybe it's a little square. And then we're going to dump off with that WNBA. I mentioned WNBA, 10-2-1, our last 13 WNBA plays. So that's the deal. That's the way we're going to kick this show off. You'll see on the side there, man, we are ever so closer to college football. We're right around the corner from the NFL. Thursday night, that Eagles-Cowboys game. You know we're going to be live. You know we're going to be watching Dak Prescott get his shit pushed in. And I'm fired up, you guys. So let's go. This is that time of the show. If you haven't done so already, you smash that thumbs up button. We get rolling. We get fire. We'll rapid fire these things at you guys. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Maybe I'll think about it while you're smashing that thumbs up button. Shout out. I see some of our friends have come back to the land here. I guess I was gassed on Saturday, huh? Dude, that Miles Johns fight cost me about $10 and I was fucking chapped. And it was like over 2-1. So that's real money. That was real upset. That was real drinking at an athletic pace. So, that's all I'm going to say about that. And I can't think of anything. I was going to say something. There's something else that's on the tip of my tongue that I should have been mentioning here, but I think we've done enough of covering the bases out there. I didn't mention this Phillies game. I'm not really interested in getting involved in that. I did put a little Phillies under together, but I'm not enamored with that game. Also, the Minnesota Twins and the New York Yankees. I would auto ride the Twins. I told you that. Now they did lose. But the gift that keeps on giving, they got shut out. What happens after a team gets shut out? They come back and win. I hope you guys don't just, maybe you think I'm a dick. And I probably am a dick. Matter of fact, I know I'm a dick. But I repeat for emphasis so that everybody's aware. When a team loses by a shutout, you got to play in the next game. We're not going to win them all, but damn it if we're not 95% right now. Shout out to everybody that's here rocking with us. I'm ready to get started. I see Nicholas Handy's here. The Futon Bets like Scarrett Crochet to record the win. Jay Main's in the house. He's giving you the Diamondbacks. He says, Diamondbacks, look at this. 8-0, first 5, last 8. Jay Main does like the Yankees -2, though. Okay. I don't love their pitching matchup. That's my problem with the Twins. The Futon Bets. Diamondbacks, first 5 plus a half. Gerald Jones, what's up, crew? He's got the Tigers, White Sox over 9. There's my man. Even money, giving you guys reasonable plays, not juiced to the nth degree. Rose Miller's here. Devonnie Lamore is back and ready to attack. There's Robert McCormick, fired up and ready to go. Rose Miller says it's sports money. Love you guys, man. Devin Elam Moore loves the look-ahead spots. Well, I got two. We're going to check. We're going to check and see what we do with these this week. The line's moved a little. I want to get in there because I think it's going to continue to move. David Wallace is checking in with us. The Futon Bets is reminding everybody to hit the like button. SF Niner. Peter Gracia. He's tailing while driving. Be careful, my friend. 9 Legacy says, what up? Paid in full parlay of the day. Let's get it. Cedric giving me the welcome back to the land of the living. There's bomb.com. What's up, bomb.com? Bills, question mark. Reds, question mark. What's the play, question mark? Question mark. Well, I told you. I don't love that game, but I sprinkled the Phils in the under. So just a shouldn't be the Phils. I put a post out there on Twitter. Now the Reds are up 1-0. So there you go. J-Main, Yankees, 122-43 versus the Twinkies since 2002. San Francisco 49er likes the Bo Sox first 5 minus a half. Looks like some of you guys like that spot there. Bomb.com likes Judge over hits, runs, and RBIs. There's my friend sports betting Patrick. Like and share with your friends. Help this community grow is right. Bomb.com says we're 2+ bases. I like the bases if you have the option between the hits, runs, RBIs, and bases. Just because if they get walked, they can still get bases. Bomb.com. It's just kind of a mathematics equation that I've been kind of following for the last couple of years. SF Niner likes Judge, Ohtani, and Soderstrom to get home runs tonight. Shout out to Oldie up in the house. He's ready to go. There's the promo code I mentioned to you guys. There's my friend Nutflush. What up, Nutflush? My guy. Just wanted to stop in and say, what up? The Yankees team total over 4.5 and 5.5 and full game over in the cards. For our guy, Nutflush, Alan, appreciate you, my dude. Hope you and the fam are doing well. I know you'll be rocking with us for the football season. Sports betting Patrick says I was tossed. We all love that. Oh, Silent Rob says, don't forget about Brundage. Yeah. Well. Yeah, you know what's funny is I was thinking there was like 2 or 3 on that card that hopefully we got them all out of the way. Our Lopez in the house says you and Jeff allowed me to cash out 20 units last week. Our Lopez. Fuck yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Cedric, Justin McKelvey's here to rock with us. SF Niners says 34 people forgot to hit the like button. Man, let's go. Smack that thumbs up. Let's go. J-Man likes the Yankees. Oh, he's giving us that trend. Pimp Slap, what's cracking, says Papa Riki. Houston 9-1 as a home dog. Houston 22-5 on Mondays. Woo! Rob McMahon's in the house. Vodka style. No vodka for me last night. I might get into it a little tonight. I was a little hungover yesterday. Bo Jackson. What's up, Bo? He says the Red Sox money line tonight. Irish King. Take Phillies live. My trepidation with this Philadelphia squad is the entire planet loved Philadelphia, and the line was actually moving away from them right to the very end. J-Main says Buxton back. He may mess up their flow. Thomas Bird's in the house. He likes San Diego, San Francisco. First inning, 1-1 tie. Damn. Bo Jackson says, anyone cash with the Connecticut Sun yesterday on National Connecticut Day? They were huge dogs. They were 11.5-point dogs, Bo Jackson. And I am one. I swept the board with the WNBA yesterday. Gave out 4 plays. I think I gave out 3 or 4 of them here. I parlayed them all together. I got a boost. And it paid like 25 or 27-1, something like that. I can't remember. And they were up in that first half. First half, would they finish tied? Was it tied in the first half? Then they went down 8 points after the third quarter, and they snuck out. I think it was an 8-point loss covering the 11.5. So yeah, I was on it, and I was sweating the shit out of it because I was like, man, I had them, and then I had a full unit play on it as well at the 11.5. So it was a good day. Yesterday was a good day. Pimps, Papa Ricky, Pimp Slippers. I figured that was you. I got you, my dude. Hey, we got so much happening out here in the world of sports money, you guys. So make sure you do check it out. Get with us, man. Ride or die. We're going to blow this bitch up this year. You guys wait and see what happens here. The NFL. I know we're already getting excited. We're talking back and forth. The tools are updated. Everyone's ready to go. It's going to be a lot of fun to kick some ass and take some names. And it's going to be a lot of other stuff along the way, right? I mean, we talked about the Dana White Contender Series. 10 weeks. 10 Tuesdays. Your next 10 Tuesdays, as a matter of fact. And then about 2-3 later, you're every Thursday. So we're sequentially layering this stuff in. But, we just kick ass and take names in those live streams, man. We talk about the UFC, but how about all the other winners that were given out on Saturday? I mean, we smashed it. Absolutely cut the card up across the fucking space. Everything was winning on Saturday, except Miles Jones and Cody Brundage. It's funny because I was laughing with it. Some friends were saying the same thing that some of you guys said. You laid juice on Cody Brundage? No, I'm not an idiot. I took Cody Brundage at KO at plus 140. There's no juice being laid. I got a plus 140. But it doesn't matter. It didn't cash. All right, here's the deal. I'm going to look at this first game. Jeff Matthews says the Giants got shut out yesterday. Now, Jeff is thinking ahead. I like that, Jeff Matthews. You know that, my friend. I was in on the Giants. We'll talk about that one. We'll talk about it. There's a couple spots that MMA Jeff's got a play out there for that game as well. So lots going on. Let's look at this first game. We got 2 740 spots. So again, plenty of time for us to get rolling. Nationals and Royals pop off here. The Nationals opened up as road dogs at 110. They're 127 right now. 72% of the bets, 68% of the cash came in on the Royals, and it's moving in the Royals' direction. The total was 9, key number 9. Derek says, do you like taking -1 or +1 in baseball? I prefer the -1. And then the money line dog as opposed to the +1. But I guess it's situational, Derek. The Nats and the Royals, I'll give you an example here in a minute. Like if you were looking at this game, I don't know about this game. Key number 9 has come down to 8.5, but it's not a true down. It's idling. 8.5 unders, even money. 78% of the bets and 67% of the cash, however, are on the over. Worth noting, it is Cavalli. I think it's a spot start for Cavalli. I'm not even sure if he goes more than 2 innings. Bailey Falter for the Kansas City side of things here. Dangerous. Bailey Falter. Nicholas Haney says, I lost my ass. Brundage live. Dude, because we were betting him at -140 and -130, right? Real talk, dude. Between that, I mean, I did all right in between some of those spots. Thank goodness for the fucking Feely spot, dude. Feely winning by decision was like +4. I can't remember. Anyways. The Royals beat the Twins by a shutout. What happens after a team gets shut out? They come back and fire. That was one win for the Royals in that series. Kind of mediocre, a little bit falling off. They started out getting busted up by Boston. They were out there in Boston. They won the last game of the series. I wouldn't say all is well in Royals land. And the Nationals just came off of shutting the team out. San Francisco, as a matter of fact, at San Francisco, they got shut out 5-0. What happens? You can't make it up, right? What happens after a team gets shut out 5-0? They come back and win 4-2. Then they shut out 8-0. So the Nationals are riding that shutout streak as we're rolling into this thing. Now, I'm going to tell you this. This is not for the faint of heart. This is you got to take this 9 out of 9 times and hope that you cash 7 of them type of situation. Because the weather's steamy. It's hitting conditions. And I mentioned Cavalli. This dude, If I said he was, well, who do you want to start with? You want to start Cavalli? It's hard to start with this guy because he's probably a spot start, right? Maybe that's not entirely true. I mean, he started August 6th. He went 4.1 innings against the Athletics. They did win that game, by the way, 2-1. He only got hit 3 times. He gave up no runs. It's the other side that concerns me. When you look at Bailey Falter, Bailey Falter's been a 4-inning guy. Now, he did have a 7 in there against Detroit for all intent and purpose, but former Pirate, brought over to Kansas City. Every single pitcher that got acquired at the trade deadline shit the bed the first game. And this guy's no exception. 4 innings pitched, 8 hits, 7 earned runs, a homer. No command, no control. I don't know. It was a road start on top of that. So, for what it's worth, I guess that's the question is, what do we see out of this guy? Now, for me, I like this under for 2 reasons. They're shading it to the under 8.5, so they're kind of showing you that it's that key number at 9, so that does scare me in the fact that, we're getting this slight 9 with some juice to it. But look, what do we know about a couple of things going on here? First of all, we got the lefty matchup. In my head, I almost automatically associate them lefties to unders. Not automatically, but you guys know. You guys are picking up what I'm putting down. We've talked about it enough. And is there a trend for that? If only there was a trend. What does a road dog do against lefties? Well, he goes under. It's like 150 to 100. 146 to 98 to be exact. Kansas City in this ballpark has been an under ballpark. The unders are 34 and 17. So we're almost 3-1 under road dogs against lefties. We're 2-1 unders Kansas City at home. It's 15 and 2 to the under for Kansas City in what essentially is a bounce back position, allowing 4 or more runs. And then you got the Nationals on the other side of things. So they lost 5-3 to the Twins. So that National or KC giving up 4 more runs, 15 and 2 under. And then the Nats, 9-0 in the underdog role with a total less than 11 after a road win and 14 or more hits. That fits the Nationals to a T. In other words, they're a mediocre team that just got lucky. Their batting average and hitting 14 or more times in a particular game on the road as a win are like anomalies that shouldn't happen, but it did. And then after it happens, the Nationals go back to neutral and they play to the under. So collectively, I'm going to take this under. I like the 9. I want the 9 though. I want that key number. I don't want the 8.5 at the, even monies or plus 105s. I don't. I want to get in the game as is right here. David Wall says under 9 minus 122 at DK. Now over 9 plus 101. Zofe's in the house. Says, love me some KC under looks. Let's go. Let's take it. Let's start the card off that way with the under 9. Let's roll on to game number 2. The Pirates and the Brewers. Tim Earl. What's up, Tim Earl? Hey, man. Hope you are doing well. It's good to see you in the chat, brother. Hope you're enjoying your summer. Hope you're enjoying your baseball season. Hockey's right around the corner, dude. We're almost back. Basketball, football, the whole gamut. Cedric says KC under 9 minus 115 at Fanatics. So we got some interesting looks there for the under in game number 1. I told you, hot and steamy weather. Wind even blowing out on top of it. So it's going to be a sweat, but that's where my money's at. We roll on to game number 2, the Pirates and the Brewers. And here's a little interesting spot. I am a proponent of the team start the way they finish. You guys have heard me say that several odd times, right? This one's a little bit of an anomaly, though. This one's an anomaly because the Brewers have just been winning so damn much. You don't need me to tell you that. What you need me to tell you is why we're going to fade them today. You do what you want with this information. win. Even when so they're on a streak of winning, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 straight wins. They had a loss. They won 3 before that. So really, they're 12-1 in their last 13 games. Can that continue? I think the answer is no. And the reason I think that is for a couple of things. One, you look on the surface, you see, well, let me talk about the splits. I get myself excited because this is a pretty sizable dog. In fact, it's, I think, the biggest dog next to Colorado, right? Second biggest dog on the card tonight. Overall, right now we've got 90% of the bets, 94% of the cash on the Brewers. Everybody's on them. And it went from minus 215 to 207. That's red flag number 1. Total's climbing. It went from 8 to 9s. As a matter of fact, it just universally moved to 9s. It looks like almost across the board. If you're going to catch an 8.5, you better do it now. 80, literally, it just moved. 86% of the bets, 91% of the cash. They want you to take the over. It's Andrew Heaney with a 4.77 ERA and Jose Quintana. You look at Quintana with that 3.57 ERA, is 9-4, and you're going, man, this guy's busting everybody up. That 3.57 ERA does go south at home. Not the best home pitcher, 4.91. Did come off of 6 innings, but he pitched to contact. Got hit 7 times, 3 earned runs, even gave up a homer. He's been racking up wins. Doesn't surprise you. The team's 13-1, or what did I say, 12-1 in their last 13. Back-to-back wins against the Dodgers, home and road. Took a loss against Miami when Miami was running cheeks. Then he rolled out there on the road, back-to-back road starts, 3 of his last 4 on the road, Washington and Atlanta. 6 innings, 5 innings, 5 innings, 6 innings. But he's given up hits. And this is where you have to ask yourself that age-old question. At what point does the balloon burst? At what point does the bubble pop? How long can a guy keep going 4 hits, 7 hits, 6 hits, 7 hits, 3 runs, 5 runs, 4 runs, 3 homers, 2 homers, 2 homers, 1 homer, 1 homer? I think the answer is not today. Specifically, I talk about this in hockey a lot, right? This is where I fucking couldn't believe the Red Wings couldn't catch a win. I don't know if you guys rode that train with me last year where it was like their expected scoring versus their actual generated results were yin and yang numbers. And it's like, you got to take the Red Wings because how long could a team not find the back of the net? In this case, Jose Quintana finds himself in that position. If he's a large favorite and he had 4 or more strikeouts his previous game, by the way, his biggest strikeout in his last 6 games, last game at 7, Jose Quintana finds himself 0-6. He got to the top of the mountain. They're now big favorites. They're getting all the accolades. And that is when the bubble burst. Now, divisional home favorites after a big comeback win, a.k.a. the Brewers. I was on the Brewers first 5 in full game. I gave out 3 first 5s and 3 full games, I think, this weekend. I think I lost every first 5. I think I won every full game, and I lost every first 5. So I'm not taking Pittsburgh first 5. Let's get that out of there right now. But divisional home favorite after a comeback of 4 or more runs are 156 and 132. And you're sitting there saying, well, that's a winning record. The Brewers are 156 and 132 in that position. True. But if you bet $100 on the other side every single game in that sample, you're up almost $4,000. See, we're looking for that 60% number. 60% or higher to nudge us. Not 53, 54% idling. We want that plus 180 spot out there with this Pittsburgh Pirates spot tonight. It so happens to coincide with the Sharps, thinking the Brewers take the L tonight. And of course, my favorite, tougher teams to win 10 in a row in anything, in any sport. So I'll take the shot. I'll take the big swing out there with this Andrew Heaney, Pittsburgh Pirates-led team. And for what it's worth, I do suspect that we see a tighter scoring game. There's a couple on the card tonight where I'm thinking, and we'll talk about this next one too. If it's going to be a lower scoring spot, then I'll take a shot with the dog in this case. And just need Heaney I need Heaney to be uncharacteristically Consistent. Uncharacteristically consistent. Can't say that with a couple of cocktails in here. That's how you know I haven't been drinking. Guys went 2 innings, 4 innings, 5 innings, 3 innings, 4.2 innings his last 5 starts out there. Yikes. A little scary, but it's math. The math is mathing for me to take a 180. You want to take the 1.5? You're getting rid of all of your juice, all of your vigor. David Wallace loves the big number. Coin says Heaney hasn't gone. Yeah, he's a piece, dude. That's what I said. He's a piece. Shout out to AOD. Redbeard's in the house talking about my coconuts. Coin says, yo, Mikey, Pittsburgh's 1-10. And I know. I'm telling you where I think it's going to be. We'll see. We'll see what it does. It's a unit. It's a unit across the board. Everything's a unit. So I think this is those shots that we have to take, though, for look. If I had the free bet, I'd still put it there. If it was my last $100, wow, that's a tough situation because I need $700 to play this board the way I have it lined up. But we'll take it. We'll shoot at it. I get it. You never want to step in front of a heater, but you know, the Pirates are one of those. Look, they're 51-68. They're 17-39 on the road. But the Brewers are 39-20 at home, 73-44. Like, it screams regression on top of all of that. So, and I've got the numbers to back it up, I think. So we'll take a shot. We'll go on to game number 3 on the Major League Baseball card. And hey, another dog. Dogs be barking tonight. And I love it. At first, I had to sit on this afternoon and think to myself, I had a queasy feeling in my stomach. And I was like, man, what's going on here? But I think this is a square as fuck card today. And it's not going to be as easy as take Kansas City. You know, I just take the Brewers. I just don't see that. It's a new money Monday. The books have to cap everything now. This is where advantage us, the players. Why? Because they got to get week 2 lines right. Maybe the Sharps aren't taking the Sharps got beat up in week 1 in the NFL. I was going to mention that as well. What was it? 14-2 to the overs. But I think as they move forward here, they're going to be capping week 2. They want to get out in front of those lines. And they're just throwing these bullshit numbers because they don't want you playing baseball anymore. They want to funnel you into NFL. And again, advantage us. It's like, why do you like betting on fucking MAC schools when there's Big 12 programs going on? Because nobody's betting Kent State and Ohio, Miami of Ohio. So they'll put 24 on Kent State because they're bad, and they're not that bad. They're bad. But are they 4 touchdowns bad? No. And that's why we fire. So I like rooting for big dogs when I have money on them, unless it's a blowout. And then I'll just turn it and move on to something else. But in the Diamondbacks, I'll be rooting for Ryan Nelson to bust up Nathan Eovaldi. Eovaldi has been coming in cheeks. Literally. What's he got, an 18-1 record right now as well when they're larger than a 150 favorite? This dude fucking shoves. And for that reason, I won't touch the first 5. What we did see with the Texas Rangers coming off of this previous series against them Phillies. Yikes. It was Yankees, then Phillies. Now think about this. Just put yourself in that mental state for a minute. The Yankees are fucking pokes. We all know that, right? And they're probably going to miss the playoffs, which was the number 1 made decision for the AL East before the season even started. So there's no surprise to me. Some people are like, I'm surprised to see the Yankees are playing that bad. I'm not. We've been talking about it since before day 1 of baseball. Talked about it during the Japanese series. But you play the Yankees. You're at home. You know what happens. The fans are packing the stands. The Yankees are here. The Yankees are here. They won. They shut out the Yankees 2-0. Guess what happens after a shutout? Can't make it up. You lost. They lost. There's a loss. They lost 3-2. Then they got the Fightin' Phils coming to town. The Fightin' Phils on the road. Not a lot of people putting credit and stock into their name. And yet they gave up 9 runs. Lost. 3-2, loss. 4-2, Sunday Night Baseball, loss. I'm sorry, not Sunday Night Baseball. Doesn't matter. They still fucking lost. So you just had 2 monster series. Not to mention, before that, you were on the road against Seattle, who comes off the All-Star break and made some big acquisitions from said Arizona team by getting Suarez and Naylor. So all that aside, both these pitchers should shove. There's no doubt about it. Eovaldi, I mentioned, 1.38 ERA, 0.84 whip through 19 starts. Best in the league next to Paul Dunn. Mr. Paul Livy Dunn. I never use Facebook, but I got a notification pop up the other day. It said, you have a friend suggestion. Happened to be Livy Dunn. I swear it listens to me. I swear the phone is listening to me. No joke. So I looked. We don't share any common connections. I felt like I should look at least, right? I mean, just human. Anyways, Eovaldi's been a monster. In his last 6 starts, he's got a 0.47 ERA. So 2 earned runs or less, 13 of 14 starts. Fucking killer, dude. Straight fucking killer. Not only is he killing everybody, but he's striking them out too. He's doing it with fucking gusto. 26.4% strikeout rate. And he's got his best average numbers in strikeouts, FIP, and batting average. All right. It's enough of this love for Eovaldi because we're on the Arizona side of things. And what gives me some confidence there? Ryan Nelson. Ryan Nelson's been doing well. He's got a 3.2 ERA. His ERA, his last 10 starts, is 2.08. So he's almost a 1.5 better, 1.2 points better over his last 10 starts. And then let's drill into the last week. We just talked about, I foreshadowed this. Runs scored in that Yankees and Phillies series. Well, Texas has been struggling against righties. They're 28th overall in baseball with a 1.89 batting average. Their OBA's 26th in baseball. Their strikeout rate's 25th in baseball. They got a bottom 5 lineup against righties going all the way back to the All-Star break. The under's great number. The Diamondbacks unders 12-4-3 their last 19 games. They were sellers at the deadline. It made no sense because they got swept against the Astros. I questioned. I was wondering what the fuck's going on. But look, the Rangers are averaging just 1.8 runs over the last 5 starts. And this is one of those spots where I think that they're just saying, hey, we're going to slap this number on here because you're probably going to play the Rangers. It's Arizona. And the narrative is out that Arizona's done. They're not done yet. They're not doing great. And it's Eovaldi, so I get it. Has he earned this big number? He has. But look, the last start for Nelson, he went out there and, it was a 10-5 final. Remember that game? Because we were on San Diego. It took the 9th inning and then extras for them to come back and win that thing 10-5. I don't know. I'm not saying this is a step down in class. I just think this is an opportunity where, despite the thunder that Eovaldi has been tossing out there across the bump, this is an opportunity for Ryan Nelson in Arizona to pick up a sneaky, dodgy little W and cool everybody's jets on this Arizona side of the house. What say you guys about that one? That's a little trickster. Red Beard says, might be my daughter. Wow. My pullout game's strong, dude. I don't think so. The Red Sox and the Astros are rolling on down the pike. Redbeard says, Arizona and Pittsburgh. Hope you're right. Fuck yeah. Yeah, me too. Look, I think you got to play. Don't parlay them. You got to play these individually. These aren't like just throw a bunch of them in a parlay and hope it count. No. You got to play them individually, and it's just too big a number for Texas. The fucking planet all over Texas, and that's not a spot we want to be. We don't make money there. 74% of the bets, 82% of the cash. The line's come down from 168 to 160. That's a soft number to begin with for Eovaldi, shoving the way he's been. Let's go on to this next game here. Red Sox and Astros. KV's in the house. She disagrees with me, though. She says Texas. Well, that's why we're here. We all get a chance to talk about what we like. I just hope I'm right. Pitcher coming back from IL. Doesn't matter. Whatever. Dude was out. Now he's back. And we fade. The Astros opened up 144 dogs. They're 140 home dogs. 68% of the bets, 62% of the cash. 7.5s with 91% of the bets, 81% of the cash on the over. Hasn't moved off that key 7.5 So does somebody shove? Well, Javier and Crochet are coming into the mix here. I love those looks you guys were tossing out there with the Crochet spots. Either one of two things happens. Crochet gets busted up early. I'm sorry, not Crochet. Javier gets busted up early. Or they're keeping him on. They're watching the clock, seeing how long he's doing. And there's just, anytime you're doing that, you're not watching the game. Now, the Red Sox, speaking of that AL East, team to miss was the Yankees. Team to make it, Boston. Boston's settling into swingers row here. They just played at San Diego. They won that first game, but they got busted up. So think about it. They had a big series against Kansas City. They go on the road. They win that first game 10-2. They blew their load. But they get an opportunity to recalibrate themselves here against this Houston Astros team. And two things going on. This is where I think you have to use some critical thinking skills. Remember back in school when they talked about critical thinking skills? We have to connect the dots between what these two numbers are telling us. The Red Sox, as road favorites in series openers, go over. 19-5 to the over. Red Sox, road favorites, series openers. Scoring a lot of runs. Just take it back and say, when they're favorites on the road, they're scoring a lot of runs in series openers, right? Just keep it simple for a second. Crochet, 31-13 to the under in his last 44 starts. He's also sporting a 7-0 number against teams that are above 500. So, if the Red Sox are scoring a bunch of runs in series openers and Crochet's shutting them down and winning, then why would you suspect that Javier coming back from IL goes out there and shoves? The only reason would be if Crochet gets busted up. I'm willing to fade the dude that hasn't started since May 21st. I'll even lay that half a run because this Red Sox team against this Astros matchup brings their A game, and they're showing that to you here on the bump, game number 1, with their undefeated pitcher situation against Javier, who, by the way, had surgery, came back, things didn't look right. It was neck. Something was going on with the dude's neck. It's not like I mean, it's your extension to some degree, but who knows, man? I woke up with a crink in my neck a month ago. It's still there. So, I saw that, Nicholas Handy. And if they come in, I think they tied him for second, MJ. They had, was it an 80-foot yacht? And if they finished in second, MJ's team will pick up $400K. Isn't that crazy? Crazy. SF Niner got the no runs first inning for, is that second inning? Redbeard's asking if Kelly's on the Reds. The Reds. Redbeard, that was funny earlier today. Put the poll up there. So you're a Mets fan. I got to remind you to click the button. I thought it was funny. I got a laugh out of it. Anyways, I'm going to fade the Astros. I'm going to take this Red Sox team in the first 5 -0.5. For all the aforementioned reasons. Go on to the last game. I got a parlay. I got a 2-leg MLB parlay. This one's loaded with some narrative, which is surprising because otherwise kind of a shit and meaningless game. I said this months ago. If you're part of the Athletics, like Athletics 2 years ago before they announced they were going to Vegas, get me out of here. I'd rather play for the White Sox before the Athletics because at least I'm in Chicago, right? Well, now as the days tick down and you're on your way to Vegas, dude, why wouldn't you want to be the first baseball team in Vegas? That's fucking cool. They go on the road. They score a bunch of runs. They have a ballpark that measures up to be a hitter-friendly ballpark, even though they're just 500 to the total or so at home. And then trot the Tampa Bay Rays for this thing. This line's oscillated. There's no material movement on either side. 56% of the bets are on the Athletics. 59% of the cash are on the Rays. 116 down to 110 for Oakland, Nomad Athletics. Minus 102 down to even money for Tampa Bay. Right? So, then you're looking at a 10 as the total. 70% of the bets, 68% of the cash on this thing. When I talked about this thing being loaded with narratives, Springs is in a revenge spot. He used to play for the Tampa Bay Rays. They shit can the dude. Well, I mean, he's kind of been a journeyman, right? Who did he play for? Houston. Did he play for the White Sox too? I don't know. Anyways, dude's been all over the place. But he was a former Tampa Bay Ray. And Tampa Bay right now, 4-13 over their last 17 games. Not just that. Counter that with the 11-5 Athletics on the other side. So they're kind of hitting. They're in a streak. Young guys will do that. They'll get hot at the same time, and then they just kind of ride it out. The Rays on the 3-10 road since the All-Star break. They're losing. Not only are they losing, they're in the midst of a 12-game roadie. So the scenery change ain't helping these boys, and it ain't likely to come anytime soon. That's number one. Number two, we talked about Springs. Been up and down. Has been striking lately. He's a lefty. You know I like that to shut the other team down. 2.93 ERA over his last 10 starts. It's going to be an interesting spot because the other side of this ball is where you're looking at Pepio. What can Pepio do for you? And hopefully the answer is puke his nuts up. So Springs out there, I mentioned his 2 or fewer earned runs in 8 of his last 10. 2.89 in his last 7 home starts. Again, journeyman, just got traded over here. So that home road shit's kind of arbitrary, I guess. Depends on how you want to utilize it. Tampa's offense isn't scoring. They're averaging 3 runs a game in their last 16. They're struggling against theirs. That lefties, 254 OBA, 192 batting average. They're striking out almost 31% of the time in their last 2 weeks. Then we have Pepio. 5.53 ERA his last 5 starts. 5.44 over his last 8 starts. Oh, why don't we slide a curveball in there? No pun intended. 0-10 on the road. If he allowed less than 3 his last time out. In other words, he doesn't continue to string them together, which is what that ERA is telling us as well. It's not just that he's not stringing them together. Excuse me. It's the margin of which they're losing. They're getting thumped by 3.5 runs a game in Pepio starts. Springs trots in there as the home guy on against a better team. Gave up a home run his previous game. They're winning those games by 4.5 runs a game. Now, again, that home road splits, you do with that what you want because he only got here recently. But Tampa's 0-11 against a team that's on a winning streak. And that just kind of shows you they just got their work cut out for them, and that's why they're a minus 110 favorite. So I'm going to fade them. I'm going to take this team that is riding that winning streak, not just the pitching matchups. We've got the batting matchups, and then we've got the complementary trends to support the case behind it. So I'll take Oakland, and then I'm going to pop off with this last game. Little parlay action. Give me the Cards and the Dodgers. I know it's probably square. It's Yamamoto against Suriano. The Dodgers, if they're ever going to get it going, it's got to be now. And the Cardinals are playing the Rockies. What do you want? And they're leaving home. And they got Dollander on the bump with a fucking 200 ERA. Actually, it's like 6.7, but it feels like a 200. So, we're just fading 2 bad teams is what we're doing with this spot. Now, the Angels at home, I get it. Win one, lose one. But, in terms of toughness, they did just come off of a Tigers series. They did beat the Tigers one of those 3 games, but they lost to that shit team that I just talked about in the Rays. So it's funny how some of these things kind of fit together where it's like you talk about how bad a team's doing. That bad started for Tampa, and yet they were able to go out there and beat the Angels. So even as bad as they're doing in that last 10, 12 game sample, they thumped on this Angels team. Why can't the Dodgers do it? So that'd be the way we do that. I'm going to give you guys a WNBA play. I'm going to talk about my 2 look-ahead NFL spots. Just try to get these lines down, and we'll talk about them more closely as we get to game time. But I do have 2 in there. Shout out. I see we already have a sign up for the SZN. My man. Good to see you coming back. I look forward to trying to beat you in the Survivor pool. Connecticut Sun to Golden State Valkyries, the only game on the WNBA slate, 10-2-1, our last 13 since the All-Star break, 9.75 units up. We talked about the Valkyries. I kind of gave that breakdown earlier. This team opened as, Sun opened as 12.5-point dogs. They've moved to 8.5 points. We saw the Sun run out of gas to the point that I almost thought about cashing out my parlay yesterday. I was sweating that thing right to the end. Not a spot you want to be watching a WNBA game. Then I couldn't look the last 3 minutes. I was like, oh, please end, please end, please end. And then my phone buzzed and I was like, oh, I think it's over. Let me look. And then I still waited a minute or two to look. That's what the Sun did to me yesterday. Now they're on the road. They'll play their 4th road game in a row. They've been getting stomped every step of the way. Didn't cover against Phoenix. Didn't cover against them Sparks, but we saw the over. The Sparks have been on one hell of an overrun. And then we talked about Vegas last night. The Valkyrie haven't played in 2 days. They're on back-to-back home stands here. This will be their 3rd straight home game. So they're comfortable. They're settled in. And they're playing with revenge. They lost the last time they played the Sun in Connecticut. Prior to that, when they played the Sun at home, they thumped them. They won by 40 points. So we're going to get on the tail end. I've talked to you guys about this with these sharp betting sports like the NHL and and the WNBA. If you're ahead of the move, that's fine. But at some point, it settles down and you start going the other direction. And this thing is settled in 3 points, 4 points off of the opener. It's too many points. I suspect Golden State goes out there and thumps these girls again. Probably that original number was in play. And it's good enough for me to say I'll take this Golden State Valkyries, best spread cover team at home, by the way, in the WNBA. Prefer them as a dog, but I just think you got a tired team on the other side of this thing with Connecticut Sun. Banged up, injured, starting to see some players come back. I'll go, Kayla Thornton, Monica Billings, still out for the Valkyries, but look, Kayla Thornton's been out all season, so that's no surprise. I just think you got a tired team on the other side of things here, and that's going to be too much, I think, for the Sun to overcome. That's why this number's as high as it is. We've seen some dogs kind of find a way to pull and pop their way through this thing. I just think this is a lower scoring game. In a lower scoring game, look at the total. Tag that 154.5. With a 154.5, they're telling you. Probably going to see this game go under. Probably going to see if it goes under, the favorite wins because the other team gets shut down. Probably a late run for the Valkyries because they're gassed on the other side of things. Should be enough. I don't know. That's it. That's what I got for you guys in the WNBA. Let's talk 2 NFL games real quick. First of all, NFL. So I'm going to try to make a concerted effort to do a little bit more early investigation here in the NFL. I'm going to start putting some videos and things together for you guys Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, trying to break down at least the primetime games. And it's going to be super important that you share spots you want us to take a look at, right, with our toolkits and the dashboards and indexes that we have because, covering 16, 17 games a week, you guys know the deal. There's a bandwidth situation going on. We only got so many opportunities to push the record button. So going to make sure that we cover primetime games, of course, Thursdays, Sundays, Mondays, all them Friday and Saturday games, the Christmas Day games, and all the rest. We got some problems going on right now. I think 2 things. That Rams-Chargers game is going to be a fucking mess. Now, if you didn't know, now you know. One player had a damn near epileptic seizure. He did have an epileptic seizure on the field for the Chargers. Banged up, busted up. Literally, reading the beat reporters, they were trying to cancel practice. They had so many injuries going on with this Chargers team that Harbaugh literally thought about canceling practice. Now he didn't. But we see the end result of that as I don't know that it's the end result. It's not fair to say that, but dude got smacked in the dome piece and he was shaking worse than Michael J. Fox. It was an issue. They had to put a fucking graphic warning on the field before you saw the video. The other side of things here, you got the old man in Matty Stafford. Matt Stafford's got a back injury. It's a disc in his back. That's going to be a problem. And they're saying if it was regular season, he'd play. But they're not going to play the dude. This line's moved 4 points to 37.5. I'm not officially pulling the trigger on this one yet. This is just the battle of SoFi. Both these teams are essentially at home. I'm getting ever so close to firing on this under. When I do, I'll let you guys know. But that was my initial thought. Games I did fire on. First of all, lots of action for the Giants. I didn't fire on this Giants yet. I'm looking at them, though. I took them last week, gave them out, got our win, beat up them Bills. Official play that I did fire on, team number 1. This Patriots-Minnesota Vikings spot. I did jump in on this under. Now, the line's moved to 39.5. You have 94% of the bets, 99% of the cash. It's moved 3 points, all to the over. But if you look at kind of Minnesota and what they've been doing out there, look at that last game, 20-10, they beat up on Houston. What was their big emphasis out there with a similar line at 38.5? They're trying out defensive pieces and particularly secondary to try to shut these guys down. And how much are you going to get out of Mac Jones and this Patriots squad? Yeah, they went out there and busted up Washington 48-18, but two things were going on with Washington. One, a lot of people like Washington to be the second place team in the NFC East. Some are even saying they're going to beat the Eagles. I'm not sure I buy it. But nonetheless, they were bad. They were really bad. And as a team that's got that kind of expectation on it, they're trying out third stringers. They're not trying out starters. So I think this Patriots line gets overinflated. That's why it's moved 3 points. I do suspect this will settle back to around that 38 by kickoff. So I took the 39.5. I got the under 39.5 in that one. And then, what was the other game I took? Let me double check. The Packers. That was the one. That was the one. Not the one to be mistaken with the UFC, but they're playing the Colts, and I like the over. Matter of fact, I got 39 this morning. It's now 40 and a half. If you're not sure what's going on here, first and foremost, the Colts are trying out every position under the sun for their quarterback situation. Anthony Richardson broke his finger. First drive of the series out there. When that happens and you get these players coming in now, you've got a situation where you've got another quarterback comes in here and all them secondary or all them wide receivers now, even if they're tertiary wide receivers, are sitting there thinking, maybe I have chemistry. Maybe I've been practicing all preseason with this guy as my starter. I've been the number 2 guy and he's the number 2 guy. And now he's the number 1 guy and I already got his timing down. So you just get better player performance. Granted, they might want to take things a little bit easier, but you can't do that with a Colts team that's busted up at the lead spout, the lead teat, leaking everywhere. Now they played, the Baltimore Ravens. They lost that game 24-16, but it's Baltimore. Baltimore's defense. We talked about that. I was on that first half. I was disappointed and disgusted with what I saw out of the Colts offense. So I think they got to go out there and they got to really make a concerted effort to focus on their offensive game plan. On the flip side of things, the Packers, their defense is bad. And they're working on backup quarterbacks, which lead to turnovers and short field positions. That game was 40 points against the Jets. It sailed over that number at 37.5. So I took that. Like I said, 39. It's now 40. It's 40.5. So I was testing the CLV theory here to see just how far it's going to go. It's already moved a point since 12:39 this afternoon. 12:39 this afternoon. So I think I'm onto something with these line movements. That's going to be the way that we put the bow on this show, you guys. Do appreciate everybody taking the time to watch. We'll lock these two and we'll see what happens as the week progresses. I already beat some Green Bay move. But we got to win those games. It's not good enough just to beat the move, right? We're here to get W's. And we can't do shit to pay our bills with CLV. But if they convert to W's and we cash winning tickets, then we can have ourselves a day. So that's going to be it, you guys. I appreciate everybody spending that time. Make sure you get back out there. Check out the post tab for the Sports Money Community Post and sign up. The NFL Survivor entry is out there. It's super cheap. There's lots of opportunities, lots of different packages for you guys to select. Hey, they also have a free EPL Survivor League. Give them a shout out for that. I think they're giving away like $250 for the Survivor League over there. We get nothing for it. Just letting you know, you can see me and Jeff in that spot playing this year. We play it every year. Just full transparency. We get nothing for it. We're just telling you where we are engaged and where we're going to put our money. It's low investment. It's high return. Winner picks up 50 grand and a whole bunch of assorted other prizes. And of course, you guys know the deal. NFL 25, hit up Winnable. Subscribe to a package. Support us. Grab 6 months. This $2,000 for the NFL package. We're drawing the line in the sand. No longer can they price gouge. Appreciate everybody taking their time to watch us here tonight. Good luck. Check my man, Ramon Scott, out tomorrow morning for the morning steam. Don't forget, we're going to be live for the Dana White Contender Series. Hope everyone has a great evening. Good luck with your bets.